Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to NPR, Ukraine launched one of its largest drone attacks on the Russian capital early Thursday, aiming to strike Moscow's energy infrastructure and pressure the Kremlin. Moscow Mayor Sergei Sobyanin reported that Russian air defenses shot down nearly 200 drones on approach, but several managed to hit the city's main oil refinery, sparking massive fires. Falling debris from intercepted drones also damaged a major shopping mall and a high-rise residential building, resulting in at least 17 injuries and temporarily halting operations at all 4 major Moscow airports. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky defended the strikes as a fully justified response to Russia's ongoing bombardment of Ukrainian cities, framing the operation as a diplomatic prompt for Russia to seek an end to the war. In retaliation, Russia's defense ministry announced immediate precision strikes on Ukrainian energy and defense facilities. The escalation coincides with reports that Donald Trump's diplomatic envoys are expected to visit Moscow soon to resume talks on the conflict, following a ceasefire deal between the United States and Iran. According to the Liberty Times, the United States and Iran have officially initiated a 60-day negotiation window, with a bilateral interim agreement taking effect on June 17, 2026. U.S. Vice President J.D. Vance announced at a White House press conference that the U.S. Navy has lifted its maritime blockade on Iran, allowing over a dozen ships to proceed to Iranian ports to fulfill military commitments under the deal. Consequently, oil has resumed flowing through the critical Strait of Hormuz. Vance expressed confidence that the executive branch can temporarily waive sanctions without congressional approval. However, Vance strongly criticized Israel's negative response to the agreement, describing their reaction as an almost abnormal panic. In an interview with the New York Times, he questioned Israel's long-term strategy, pointing out that a nation of 9 million people cannot resolve its national security challenges through endless warfare and killing. In response, Israeli National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir lashed out on social media, comparing Iran to 21st-century Nazis. Meanwhile, Vance emphasized that Washington is pushing for the Lebanese government, rather than Hezbollah, to assume control over southern Lebanon to de-escalate regional tensions. According to a report by the Liberty Times, Zimbabwe, the lower house of Zimbabwe's parliament has passed a constitutional amendment bill extending the presidential term from 5 to 7 years. This critical development ensures that the current 83-year-old president, Emmerson Mnangagwa, can remain in power until 2030, rather than stepping down in 2028, as originally mandated by the two-term limit. The bill secured 216 votes in the lower house, comfortably surpassing the two-thirds majority of 187 votes required for passage. It will now be sent to the Senate for review. Since the upper house is heavily controlled by Mnangagwa's ruling party, the Zimbabwe African National Union Patriotic Front, ZANU-PF, the legislation is widely expected to be approved without any obstacles. While supporters argue that a longer presidential term will enhance governmental accountability and foster long-term political stability, opposition figures and critics have strongly condemned the amendment. They accuse the president of staging a political maneuver to cling to power beyond his constitutional limit. According to a UPI report, Peruvian President José María Balcázar has confirmed that Pope Leo XIV will embark on a pastoral visit to Peru during the first half of November. The trip is expected to last between 8 and 10 days. The pontiff is scheduled to visit 5 cities, including Lima, Piura, Chiclayo, Cusco, and Pucallpa. With final itinerary details still under discussion, Pope Leo XIV shares deep personal ties with Peru, having lived in the country for more than 2 decades and becoming a naturalized Peruvian citizen in 2015. He served as the Bishop of Chiclayo until 2023. President Balcazar announced the upcoming trip following a private audience with the Pope at the Vatican, where they discussed the country's political landscape, human rights, and regional migration. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.